What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Doddie. This is the Progressive Vibe Podcast. I am so thrilled to be back with you guys. It's been about 7 or 8 days, so usually I've, posted around that, 6-day mark. So I'm about a day or two short, and it was a justifiable reason, guys. Best friend, who's like a brother to me, had a wedding. He got married to a lovely lady, and I wish them the absolute best, and am just so happy and proud and just thrilled just to see them happy together. It was truly such a great vibe, no pun intended, but it was just good energy. We danced, we laughed, we talked, and I'm just happy for my guy. So all that being said, it's back to business. I'm back home, and I'm ready to, catch my audience up on what's been happening. So, what I want to say before we get into today's episode, obviously, like and subscribe if you haven't already, the channel. My other socials are in the description. I have a link tree that goes directly to all of my other socials. And also, I do have a Cash App on there. I'm not like hounding you for money or anything like that. But at the same time, too, if anybody wants to make a friendly donation to the show, then it would be appreciated. And it would obviously go to the show. As Don Lemon has said, we have to stay viable on the streaming street. So this would help with equipment, other things that would be very, very helpful for the show. So all of that being said, let's get into today's content. So I specifically wanted to talk about my state today, which is Alabama, and the Bama court battles seem to continue right now. The lower courts have temporarily blocked Alabama's plan to use a new congressional map. It was a pretty long decision by the courts, about 100 pages long, and it gave multiple examples that say it shows the map Republicans want to use was gerrymandered to specifically dilute the power of black voters. Now, let me pause real quick and just say, when I specifically say black voters, I mean a certain section are being not heard. Their voices are being muzzled, tapered. Their representation is being muzzled and tapered. And it's not right. It's just that plain and simple. Okay. By now, if you don't know what the Republican Party is trying to do before midterms, which is trying to seem to be cheating in order to retain power, because their party is very much so underwater, mainly because of President Trump. If you have looked at President Trump's approval rating over the last few months, honestly, it's been a downhill slope, straight downhill. And this is not just from Democrats. This is from people in his own party. This is people who I've spoke to personally. That's not a Democrat. These are hardcore Republicans that are saying that they are done with Donald Trump. So he has a lot of problems to worry about come this midterm election, and you're starting to see that through the Republicans' actions and his actions. Can we just have a fair representation of each state by having a independent commission to redraw these maps? Whether it's a Democrat in charge of that state or a Republican Party of that state, guess what? Everybody does not vote the same, but everybody should have equal representation. Is that too much to ask? If the Republican Party was so confident in themselves, wouldn't they want a fair fight? If the Democrats were so confident within their party, shouldn't they want fair representation? So let's just put it all out there. Let's see who policies resonate more with voters. It's just that simple. Now, me personally, if you want my opinion, this is my show, so I'm going to give you my opinion. But if you want my opinion, the Republican Party's policies does not resonate the majority of voters in this country. It just don't. The Democrats' policies tend to resonate more with voters, but the Democrats' problem is they never come through with the things that they talk about, which pisses voters off, including myself. You have voters that want to vote for the Democratic Party, but every time they seem to get in elected office, they talk a good game. But when it's time for them to implement those policies, you don't hear nothing. the can gets kicked down the road. And it upsets voters, taxpayers, people who we elected to go to these offices. And I think that it's time, and I said it, and I'm going to say it again. I think it is time for new representation of the Democratic Party. I think you need new leadership, younger leadership. And I know I'm not trying to be ageist, but I'm saying the powers that be, some people are so old that's in these parties, in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. They're not with the times. Like their messaging, how they talk about certain type of problems that hinder the American public, they seem to be out of touch. And you have people that want to run for these offices who want to be public servants, who want to fight for their constituency, fight for the United States of America, not just their state, but the whole entire United States. That's the type of leadership and mentality that we need to change stuff in this country. It's just that simple. But let me get back to the court. So what does this ruling mean for voters? The ruling blocks the map that would have gave Republicans an advantage in the midterm elections. A core of voters in Alabama, a big core of voters in Alabama are Black, and the map Republicans want to use, it only included one congressional Black district, just one. Alabama only got 2 as it is anyway. We only got 2. They wanted to use the map. They only had 1. Okay. So my next question would be, isn't this consolidation? Like, aren't you consolidating people's vote, their mouthpiece, their constitutional rights? You're consolidating them like a pack of sardines in one district, while Republicans have numerous of districts that makes it easier for them to retain power of the state that they already run. How is that fair representation? How if I'm a Republican? I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent, but I'm saying if I was a Republican, how would I feel if the party who I'm voting for seemed to be cheating against the other side to regain power? Me and my thought would be, well, why you guys can't just like win on your policies? I'm voting for you. Other people are voting for you in the state. So if it's been working, why are you trying to change the rules? It's the reason why they're changing the rules. It's because the pendulum has shifted. People are starting to wake up to the Republicans' actions. They're starting to wake up to, damn, they've been running shit for a while, and my life conditions have gotten worse. Now, I know I had my things with the Democrats and them implementing policies, but damn, this right here is outrageous. Like, we get involved in unnecessary, unprovoked wars, trying to fight other countries' battles, gas through the roof. It's past Biden now. You can't use, well, Biden had high gas prices. Well, Trump has eclipsed that and some. Grocery prices are through the roof. Unemployment is high. Environmental regulations are being slashed as we speak. And once again, the American people's needs and concerns gets put on the back burner. So yes, I feel like the energy has shifted. So what I want to do, I want to play these 2 clips for reference purposes, because I like to back up what I'm talking about. I don't want people just hearing me all the time, but I want to show the evidence. And so I wanted to show you guys 2 quick clips, and we will come back to my other thoughts. Here we go, guys.
Federal judges in Alabama have blocked the state's attempt to throw out its current congressional map heading into the elections and replace it with a previously blocked map. State leaders from both sides of the aisle have been vocal about the decision this week.
I'm just curious to why is the state fighting so hard to try overturn that decision?
The only thing they got to do is just let us be people. We ain't did nothing to nobody.
Alabama's redistricting dilemma all started with a federal court ruling in a Louisiana case that limited how race can be used in drawing voting districts. After that, Alabama appealed injunctions on 2 voting maps and called a special session to set up separate elections using those maps if the courts approved them in time. Recently, the U.S. Supreme Court lifted the injunction against the congressional map and sent the case back to federal court, where a 3-judge panel decided Tuesday to reinstate that injunction. It's been a divisive topic for the state recently.
I think it should just be represented how it really is. I mean, if you're going to enact a gerrymandered map, then that's going to kind of take away from the whole point of an election in general.
I don't think that the state attempt to do this is right. I don't think it's right at all.
Governor Kay Ivey released a statement that reads in part, quote, I fully support Attorney General Marshall appealing this unsurprising decision to the U.S. Supreme Court, and I remain hopeful they will allow Alabama to move forward with our August 11th special primary election. And Congressman Shamari Figures, who would likely lose his seat if the 2023 map is adopted, released a statement that says in part, quote, I am pleased with the court's decision, but this case is still not over. Although we expected the court to reach this decision given the overwhelming evidence, we fully expect the state to immediately appeal the decision to the Supreme Court. This is a significant step in the right direction, but there is still a long way to go before this fight is settled. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall has already said he will appeal the decision to the Supreme Court, meaning the battle is not over yet. In the studio, Austin Pratt, ABC 3340 News.
Okay, here's the part 2 of this.
The state has filed an emergency appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. It's the latest legal action in the fight over Alabama's congressional voting lines. Steve Marshall filed emergency requests with the U.S. Supreme Court today. He wants the court to let Alabama use a Republican-favored congressional map in the upcoming elections. Now, this happened after a lower court blocked the state's map yesterday and ordered Alabama to use a court-drawn map instead. The court-drawn map was first used in 2023 after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Alabama's previous map intentionally diluted black voters' political influence through racial gerrymandering. The Supreme Court has asked for responses to Alabama's requests. Those responses are due Monday at 3.
Okay, so yeah. Now, before I give my breakdown on that and more, I wanted to do a quick show plug for this awesome local independent business. So just a quick second, I have something for you guys, and then we're going to come. What's up, Vibers? We have an awesome sponsor for today's episode, Board and Social Company, creating custom charcuterie boards, grazing tables, and elevated spreads for events, parties, and date nights and more. Every board is handcrafted with fresh ingredients and designed to bring people together in a more fun and memorable way. You can check out their work and place an order by following them on Instagram at Board and Social Company and on Facebook at Board and Social Company. Thank you for the awesome sponsor. Check them out, guys. All right, so we're back. So those videos should just kind of tell you what it is. I kind of broke a little bit of it down as I was doing my monologue, but Kay Ivey, the governor here in the state, it's time for her to go. I mean, it's people in her own party that wants her to go, that lives in Alabama. I'm an Alabama native. I live in Alabama. I mean, who knows more than an Alabamian himself? And I'm here to tell you that the state of Alabama is ready for a new brand of politics. But you have people like the governor who run the state and the attorney general who run the state. They're just they're committed to keep appealing this because they want less people to vote. That's what it seems like. They want to consolidate people in one district and have representation lowered so their party, the Republicans, can keep power. I mean, it's 1 + 1 = 2. It's not rocket science of like what is taking place here. So to just give you more evidence, in 2023 Supreme Court case Allen versus Milligan, the Supreme Court ruled Alabama likely violated Voting Rights Act. The court ordered Alabama to create a second opportunity district with a higher percentage of black voters. That map then led to a second black member of Congress named Shamari Figures, along with Congresswoman Terry Sewell. This map was used in 2024, and this led to the first time 2 black members of Congress from Alabama in modern history. The first time in modern history, Alabama got 2, not 10, not 15, but 2 black members of Congress in the state of Alabama in modern history. So now back in April in the state of Louisiana, we had a separate podcast talking about the state of Louisiana and what happened with their congressional districts. The Supreme Court issued another decision on the Voting Rights Act. That case was called Louisiana versus Kellis, raising the bar for providing racial discrimination in congressional maps. So they raised the bar. They said, well, the things that's taking place of disenfranchising black voters in southern states primarily we need more evidence that this is taking place, because the evidence that, organizations and Democratic Party in these southern states, the evidence that you guys are coming to court for, it's not enough. We need more. We need more. We just don't want to see what has happened historically throughout the history of the United States in muzzling Black representation, but we need more evidence now. So that's what that was about. So then in the month of May, the Supreme Court ruled on a case, Allen versus Castor, that Alabama's redistricting case should be reconsidered. So I know we're at the end of this month in May, but this month, the court just ruled that Alabama's unconstitutional drawn map should be reconsidered again. So it's just like this tit for tat, this back and forth situation that's going on. So about 2 Fridays ago, there was a lengthy federal court hearing in Birmingham, Alabama by a 3-judge panel who then made their decision this past Tuesday. Former Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice Sue Bell Cobb, who is a known Republican, weighed in with her thoughts, saying, quote, I'm going to read you the quote, "You simply don't change a voting district right upon an election. You just simply don't do it. It's depriving people of their right to vote, which is the single most fundamental right that we have," end quote. I don't think y'all hearing me. The former Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice, who is Republican down, saying that what the state of Alabama is doing is wrong and is unconstitutional. It ain't me just saying that. It ain't Black people just saying that. It ain't Democrats just saying that. This is a former Supreme Court Chief Justice that's saying it. I mean, take that to the bank if you can't take nothing else to the bank. So I guess, lastly, what happens next? What happens next with the state of Alabama? Alabama officials are seemingly moving forward with this special primary election that is in August. They're calling it an emergency plan. So they're taking this as an emergency. We can't have 2 Black districts in the state of Alabama. Even though Republicans run everything in Alabama, we don't want 2 Black districts in Alabama. So we are appealing this. We are sending this back to the courts because we want just one. We really don't want none, but we'll give them one. That's really what this special primary election that's taking place in August that we're going to talk more about as it gets closer. But as of now, this is what the state's doing, and it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And Alabama has more shit to be worried about with their constituents that pay taxes to fund the state. They have more to be worried about than trying to cheat and trying to retain power because their policies suck, because they only want tax cuts for the wealthiest people in the state of Alabama or large corporations. That's the playbook 101. I mean, so let me continue. The map that's temporarily blocked impacts Alabama congressional districts 1, 2, 6, and 7. So again, the map that temporarily that is blocked now impacts Alabama congressional districts 1, 2, 6, and 7. One of those congressional districts is a district that I live in, figures. Meanwhile, the Attorney General, Steve Marshall of Alabama, Republican, says he will immediately appeal the decision that the Supreme Court made immediately. It's just eating them up. And as far as where this could lead, I guess I have to just say we have to just all stay tuned and just see where it goes. However, there is a good chance that the Supreme Court will have to weigh in on this decision and provide more details and guidance to states on how to provide equal representation without gerrymandering. I don't have a whole lot of faith in our Supreme Court right now because they keep letting Trump seem to be untouchable, do what he do, unconstitutional acts. It's okay. He's our guy. Where people like me and you couldn't even scratch the surface on some of the stuff that Trump's been doing. Can we just want the best for each other? I mean, all of this taking place right now, it's not helping anybody. It's literally not helping anybody. Can we just advance as a society? Talk about stuff that we've all been wanting to talk about to change like this way of life politically that we're living right now. And it shouldn't be political. The most basic fundamental things that people want and need and should have, it shouldn't be up for debate. It shouldn't be politicized. And I'm just sick of it. I am sick of it. It is embarrassing as a country to look what's taking place in the United States of America. I mean, like, tourism rates are down. People don't want to even come here right now. And I don't even blame them. And so I just want people to do their research. If you don't like what I have to say, again, for the millionth time, okay, it's a free country. And again, I don't know how free we are. I said that in one episode, but this is a free country, freedom of speech. If you don't like what I'm saying, you ain't got to watch. If you don't think I'm right, go look it up. I'm asking you as the host, please do your research. That's it. It's not going to kill you because people, they're coming for all of us. And if you don't think that none of this that affects a certain section of the population won't eventually come knocking at your door and affecting you, you got another thing coming. You have another thing coming. Because at the end of the day, we all are one collective and we all want the same things. And so can we just strive to just be a better nation, a better country? Can we want more from our politicians, for people who we duly elected to be in these offices of power? Can we just want more from them? It's the least they can do. We elected them to be in there, to be our representation. So if they're not doing something right, if they're doing something illegal, if they're corrupt, shouldn't we want to vote them out? Why would we want to prolong them staying in, for them to just milk the system? And guess who has to pay the price for it? We, the taxpayers. And I'll keep saying this till I'm blue in the face. They are over here living high and mighty while you are worrying about how you're going to pay your bills. We have to put this cancer of politics away forever. Our whole mentality of how we capture politics needs to change because it's not healthy and it's ruining us all as a country. So that's it, guys. If you like today's show, again, please like and subscribe. Hopefully we will have another episode very, very soon. I'm going to edit this, break it down, and post it. And again, if you guys could share the podcast, get more ears, get more eyeballs on it, that would be awesome. I want everybody to stay safe, continue to fight the good fight, and we're going to keep vibing, okay? We're going to keep vibing. We're going to lock in, and we're going to demand change. We're going to demand change through our organization, through our strategies, through our level-headedness, and we're going to pursue on. Simple as that. Again, my name is Doddie, and this has been the Progressive Vibe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.